Hey there, pirates! Welcome aboard the Anime No Mi channel. Akainu was trained by Garp to become his successor, a secret plan that turns the Magma Admiral into the direct heir of the hero of the Iron Fist. That's right, forget the public fights and look at the hidden details scattered through the manga chapters, where the interactions between these two titans suggest a disguised mentorship. Seriously, I hope for your support to help our crew win, and to do so, you just need to click the thumbs up button, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel. By doing this, you will win an incredible devil fruit, so just comment which fruit you want. Guys, Akainu, or Sakazuki, appears as a force of nature in Chapter 550 during the Marineford War, where he is already an admiral with the Magu no Mi, capable of melting everything around him with an ideology of absolute justice that shows no mercy for weakness. He executes deserters without hesitation and faces Whitebeard with a fury that makes the sea boil. But to understand how Garp fits into this equation, we need to go back to Chapter 957, where Sengoku reveals Garp's past as the hero who defeated Roxette God Valley, a vice admiral who refused promotions to admiral because he hated the Celestials and preferred fighting on the front lines. Garp has been the mentor of many Marines, training generations with fists that shape character, and Akainu, with his unshakable determination, fits perfectly as the ideal student, someone who would absorb lessons of brute strength without question. The theory takes shape here. Garp, knowing he would never rise through the ranks, chose Akainu as his spiritual successor, secretly training him to carry the flame of justice he himself represented. The interactions between Garp and Akainu at Marineford, from chapters 570 to 580, are full of tension that hints at a deeper history than mere rivalry. In chapter 571, after Akainu kills Ace with a piercing magma punch, Garp explodes in rage and tries to attack him, shouting that he'll kill him for murdering his grandson. Sengoku holds him back with force, preventing the clash. But that anger isn't just personal, it's the conflict of a mentor watching his pupil cross the boundaries he once taught him to respect. Garp, who in chapter 68 reveals himself as Luffy's grandfather and values family above all, may have seen in Akainu a reflection of his own youth, training him to be relentless against pirates. But he never expected that same resolve to turn against his own bloodline. That scene isn't random, it echoes a broken mentorship where Garp shaped Akainu to be the successor he never wanted to be, an admiral who enforces justice without mercy, exactly as Garp once did against rocks in the past, revealed in chapter 957. The implicit succession becomes clear when we look at Garp's role as an instructor, highlighted in chapter 1088, where he trains Kobe on Hachinosu with brutal methods that forge heroes. Garp has always been the Marines' elite trainer, molding minds and bodies with fists that teach eternal lessons. And Akainu, with his rapid rise to admiral as shown in chapter 550, must have gone through something similar. In chapter 576, during the battle with Whitebeard, Akainu demonstrates endurance and strategy that resemble Garp's style, facing the Yonko with determination beyond his devil fruit powers, pure willpower, the same kind Garp uses to shatter mountains without any supernatural ability. This similarity is no coincidence. It suggests that Garp, refusing promotions as revealed in chapter 957, chose to pass on his knowledge to someone like Akainu, someone who would bear the burden of leadership without hesitation, making him the perfect successor to carry the legacy of the unyielding hero. The theory strengthens when we consider the Marines' power dynamics. Despite being a vice admiral, Garp influences major decisions, like in chapter 580, when he lets Luffy escape Marineford out of family loyalty, contrasting with Akainu, who in the same arc hunts Garp's grandson with blind fury. That opposition is the result of mentorship gone wrong. Garp trained Akainu to be the executor of the justice he himself stood for, but the student took it to the extreme, killing Ace in chapter 571 and awakening his master's wrath. In chapter 957, Sengoku's flashback to God Valley shows Garp fighting alongside Roger against rocks, proving that he values justice over blind loyalty, a lesson Akainu ignored by prioritizing the eradication of pirates. This disconnection suggests the training was real, but Akainu distorted the teachings, becoming the successor Garp never truly wanted, the fleet admiral after the war, as revealed in chapter 650. The mentorship clues appear in subtle moments, like in chapter 550, where Akainu is introduced as an admiral alongside Aokiji and Kizaru. Yet his absolute justice mirrors Garp's determination to hunt legendary pirates. Garp, who in chapter 68 trains Luffy and Ace with harsh methods, could have done the same with a young Akainu, forging a marine who would climb the ranks while Garp remained on the battlefield. In Chapter 571, Garp's attempt to kill Akainu isn't just revenge, it's the pain of a mentor betrayed by his own student, molded to be invincible. This dynamic adds layers to the theory, showing that the succession was planned, but fate twisted it, with Akainu becoming the Fleet Admiral in Chapter 650, taking the position Garp refused time and time again. Garp's influence on Akainu is evident in their shared resilience, like in Chapter 576, where Akainu survives Whitebeard's devastating blows that would kill anyone else, regenerating with magma, just as Garp withstands attacks through sheer stubbornness in Chapter 1088. This endurance isn't only from the fruit, it's training, the kind Garp imposes on his students, turning Akainu into the successor who carries the fire of justice Garp once ignited. In Chapter 957, Garp's heroic past inspires generations. Akainu, as his pupil, takes it to the extreme, carrying out orders with precision that reflects lessons learned from a master who valued strength above all else. This theory isn't just speculation. It's based on Oda's narrative patterns, where mentors often shape villains, like Rayleigh with Luffy in Chapter 597. But here, it's inverted with Garp and Akainu. The succession makes perfect sense within the Marines context, where Garp, refusing leadership, passes the torch to someone like Akainu, who in Chapter 550 already shows an authority that mirrors Garp's charisma. Garp's rage in Chapter 571 is the climax of a broken relationship, where the master watches his students surpass the limits he himself set. But that has changed. Akainu, shaped by Garp's lessons on unwavering strength, takes it to the extreme, becoming a volcano of rigidity that tolerates no weaknesses, as in Chapter 571, where he pierces Ace with magma without hesitation, declaring that pirates like him deserve total eradication, a justice that sees no ashes of mercy. Garp, on the other hand, always balanced his strength with heart, as in Chapter 580, when he allows Luffy to escape at Marineford, prioritizing family over duty, a flexibility Akainu openly despises, calling him weak for hesitating. This divergence isn't an accident. It's the result of a student who absorbs lessons of raw power but ignores the nuances of humanity that Garp tries to instill, as in Chapter 431 in Water 7, where Garp laughs at Luffy's mischief instead of punishing him, showing a justice that values potential over immediate punishment. Akainu, in Chapter 576, faces Whitebeard with a determination that echoes Garp's feats against rocks in Chapter 957, but without the sense of honor that allows for unlikely alliances, like Garp fighting alongside Roger in God Valley in Chapter 1096. This opposition creates a Shakespearean drama among the Marines, where the successor surpasses the master not only in rank, becoming Fleet Admiral in Chapter 650, but in rigidity, burning bridges that Garp built with laughter and teaching punches. In Chapter 1088, Garp trains Kobe with methods that mix pain and inspiration, saving him with a galaxy impact that destroys cities but preserves allies, contrasting with Akainu, who in Chapter 550 executes deserters without remorse, an absolute justice that Garp may have planted but never wanted to harvest so bitterly. This fork in the road adds layers to the theory, suggesting that Garp trained Akainu to be the leader he refused to be, but the student twisted the legacy into a fanaticism that makes the world government smile while Garp grits his teeth, creating an internal conflict that could explode at the end of the series when Luffy faces the Marines. So, what do you think? Akainu as a traitorous successor, or just a Marine pushed to the limit? Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell for more theories that land like an iron fist. That was today's content. We hope you liked it and want to share your opinion on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay amazing.